My name is Taylor Holmes, and I'll be discussing the issue of sexual assault on college campuses. In a sexual culture that emphasizes female violation, endangerment, and perpetual vulnerability, men's power is taken as a given instead of interrogated. Men need to be policed. Women need to be protected. If rape is the norm, then male sexuality is by definition predatory. Women are by definition prey. The social justice issue of gender-based violence, such as sexual assault, is becoming more prevalent on college campuses. Sexual assault, the facts about sexual assault, and the psychological damage need to be in the forefront, along with prevention techniques and community organizations taking a stand to end sexual assault. This topic is related to several Catholic social teaching subjects. Sexual assault is a very serious issue and should not be taken lightly by any citizen or government official. According to the United States Department of Health and Human Services, sexual assault is defined as any type of sexual activity or contact that one does not consent to. Sexual assault includes physical force, threats of force, or providing the victim with alcohol or drugs as part of the assault. It is estimated 20% of women experience attempted or contemplated sexual assault during their college career. College-aged women ages 18 to 24 have a 3 times higher chance of experiencing sexual assault compared to older or younger women. Sexual assault is more common on college campuses compared to any other crime. Sexual assault is more prevalent on college campuses due to alcohol, drugs, and peer pressure. In fact, 50% of sexual assaults involve alcohol or drugs. Physical damage can include sexually transmitted diseases, chronic illness, risk of pregnancy, sexual dysfunction, along with many other effects. Although the concern for the victim may be the physical change, the psychological issues are the most serious and long-lasting for every victim. Among the victims of sexual assault, 57% will experience lifelong PTSD. PTSD is the most common response to sexual assault. Other specific psychological responses include anxiety, fear, depression, and social adjustments. According to The Hunting Ground, a popular movie discussing sexual assault specifically on campuses, 88% of women choose to not report sexual assault. Women typically do not report because some are unsure whether the incident constitutes as a crime. Women are afraid of being blamed for the assault. It has been proven victims do not report due to the fear of being believed. In relation, 45% of colleges report no sexual assault. In order to lower the number of sexual assaults on college campuses and provide trust in those victims, colleges must address the topics through awareness programs. Awareness programs include campaigns, videos, and information tables and speakers. Awareness programs aim to send the message that it is not the victim's fault. SAFER is considered a community organization that is responding to this problem. SAFER stands for Students Active for Ending Rape. This empowers students to combat sexual assault taking place on campuses. This group provides knowledge and statistics of sexual assault, resources, policies, and provides survivor support, holds college campuses accountable, and provides students with the power to make a change on campus. SAFER's most successful movement includes Students Speak Out. This is a listening forum tour, allowing students attending universities to discuss what is happening on their campuses in regard to sexual assault. This movement is led by survivors and student activists. These students launch several websites along with students to recount their own sexual experiences. Although SAFER is creating an impact on campuses, they typically face the challenges of sexual assault policies not being implemented on the campuses. Currently, university policies do not include early prevention efforts, student input, or justice for survivors. The result of universities failing to have a strong sexual assault policy can create a violent atmosphere, silence survivors, and unequal access to college education. In connection to the course, the elements include solidarity, promotion of peace, option for the poor and vulnerable, role of the government, and advocacy. These elements also incorporate the ideas of the community organization SAFER. Solidarity discusses how we are a family, no matter our racial, ethnicity, gender, or economic differences. Solidarity means that loving our neighbor has global dimensions in an interdependent world. Unfortunately, women are being deprived of their solidarity. The organization SAFER relates to the Catholic social teaching theme Solidarity. SAFER equips students with the tools they need to become an activist on their campus. They provide survivor support. Promotion of peace. It describes peace as something beyond the absence of war. It involves respect for persons and trust between persons and nations. The theme of promotion of peace relates to the topic of sexual assault. In this theme, mutual respect and confidence between people is valued. To be at peace, one must respect women's bodies, and women must be valued by others. It is SAFER's goal to implement peace among students on campus, but also understand this peace is generated by the actions of human beings. SAFER addresses ways to help the victims through communication and listening. Option for the poor and vulnerable states we must help the vulnerable members of our society. Our most vulnerable members are going to be the women. Option for the poor and vulnerable focus on the most vulnerable members in society, which in some cases is women. SAFER supports this theme by providing support groups and crisis resources for victims of sexual assault. They are empowering these survivors to get back on their feet and fight back by helping those in need understand their rights and consequences, along with the perpetrator's consequences as well. Role of government is providing citizens with dignity, the protection of their rights as humans, and building the common good. In relation to the topic of sexual assault on campus, the government needs to aid in the involvement of policies and implement tougher laws on sexual assault perpetrators. One of SAFER's largest categories involves policies. Policies are typically made by the schools, but can also be provided by the schools by the government. SAFER discusses policies must have student input, fairness oversight, and prevention and education. Advocacy discusses how often a person in need may rely on someone else for help. According to SAFER, victims have many reasons to not speak for themselves, such as blaming themselves, the fear of not being believed, becoming exposed to their friends or family, or the fear of reliving the assault. One of SAFER's main goals is to advocate for the sexual assault victims. SAFER has created several projects allowing victims or others to fight for a safer community and campus. SAFER has several projects and movements providing the survivors a voice they need. I did learn several things about this project. I learned that the issue is not getting better. It's in fact getting worse. Sex trafficking almost makes sexual assault okay. Age isn't an excuse anymore because it is happening in the workplace as well. I believe that we need much harsher punishments to be implemented at the schools, the workplace, and the society in general. Similar to registering as a sex offender, those implicated as sexual assailants should have to register as well. A national registry might make males think twice about their actions. All I know is that the law needs to change, and it needs to change now before it gets way worse. Sexual assault on college campus is a topic that should not be taken lightly. Although this topic can be uncomfortable to discuss, the psychological effects on victims and prevention techniques must be discussed in school, on the news, and at home, and in the workplace. Everyone has the power to stop sexual assault on campuses. Organizations such as SAFER is allowing students, parents, and teachers to take necessary steps to end it on campus, which is similar to the areas of the Catholic social teaching include solidarity, promotion of peace, option for poor and vulnerable, role in government, and the advocacy. In addressing sexual assault in context, something needs to change. Women need protection against these perpetrators. Restoring the most fettered versions of traditional femininity through the back door is backlash, not progress.